friends, I'm Erin. Welcome to Erin Go Live. It's another lifestyle and reading vlog. Right now, the mission, it is Tuesday, December 2nd right now. Not working today. I'm kind of like in between things right now. I only have a couple shifts this week, so just tomorrow morning and Friday morning. And it's beginning of December. I'm definitely a no Christmas before Thanksgiving type of person. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I love it. My birthday is also right around Thanksgiving, end of November. So I don't know if that has anything to do with my bias, but mostly I think it's just because it's a pure holiday. There's no commercialism unless, we're talking about like buying pies. And I'm all for buying pies. I have pumpkin pie, my love. Sadly, we finished off the pumpkin pie last night, but it is time to get in the Christmas spirit, which also means cleaning up this room. I'm actually going to show you what it looks like real life, what our living room looks like. I will say, I did pick up, there were 2 plates from last night, and there were some empty cans, like soda cans, sparkling water cans from last night. Those are picked up, so not completely like the full-on trash goblin that we actually are, but I'm going to show you real life. Okay, so real life. This is what the living room looks like. I'm standing in the entry hall, front door, right there. So this chair has been here ever since I did the vlog where I brought the books out here, and we haven't found a home for this yet. I think it's just going to go in the back bedroom where the books used to live, and now we have a collection of packaging that needs to be broken down and thrown out. And then, of course, if you have a chair, you're going to have random clothes thrown over it, right? That's my coffee cup, some water bottles and everything. We have evidence here that a dog, that is the remote for those candles, the flameless battery operated candles, dog toy coaster. So I believe the other dog, Heidi, there was probably something here that she wanted, and that caused that to be there. And then that jumble of cords looks better when it's behind the thing, you can't see it, but real life, we're charging things and it gets pulled out because we need the length, and it just looks like a mess right now. And then here's just random mess. Here's Stevie licking himself. Isn't that nice? I think I'm gonna end up moving this coffee table into the back room for now. We love it. This came from Benji's house. It fits with my stuff, but it's a piece of him rather than the very clean line mid-century modern one I had in here before. But because ideally what happens is the ottoman goes to the chair, which is what it goes to, and then the coffee table goes there, but that's not what's actually comfortable, so that's not how we actually live. So we live with that. So I think I'm just going to move that to the back room, and when people come out, we can make it look better. That is my niece's coat because she left it, and it's impossible for her to come over without leaving something. There's a sweater on the bar stool as well. And then this is just random stuff right out. So these are recently purchased books. Those are my shoes I was wearing yesterday. That's a bag that came from my mother-in-law's house with clothes in it, and just my gym bag, my laptop. Like what a freaking mess. Study for Obedience is a book I just picked up on a trip last weekend, and I'm thinking about reading Oliver Twist. So I have that out. Oh, this is where this went. I just put away the other part of this. So the original female urinary director, the Shiwi, is part of what my husband got me for my birthday, because he's a man and that's what he thought would be a good gift. The other part of it, this is kind of like his domain, his space out here, and this is like our sports and camping. There we go, sports and camping kind of stuff. So this goes with, got this Nalgene bottle, and I was really confused. Pee Happy. So the idea is I use the Shiwi into the Pee Happy Nalgene bottle, and then I have this like antimicrobial, like one side of this is absorbent and one side of it repels water. So I have a whole little female urinary system. So we haven't got to test that out yet, but there we have it. Just moving the chair and the table made a big difference. Still lots of cleanup to do, but was just like distracted by, I wanted to show you how beautiful this new family picture is. So this was from the wedding. So my niece Holly, she'll be 16 in a month. my sister Allie and her husband Lewis, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law Sarah, who just got engaged herself, my husband Benji and me, my mom and dad, my youngest niece Charlie, grandma, grandpa, these were my dad's parents, and my nephew Sammy. He just turned 13 and she just turned 7, and aren't we all beautiful? So this is where we are now. Vacuumed, tree's gonna go there. The bench is gonna stay there. I just haven't dealt with the stuff on the bench quite yet. But now we have to go to the shed. Now the shed, this is stressing me out. So this is mostly my mom's, it's my mom's Christmas stuff, honestly. Obviously we have some, like yard work, kind of stuff in here. This is a, like, scooter thingy that my dad will probably eventually need. Yeah, so I think that one is my tree. And then somewhere, okay, underneath that red truck, I know that box is mine. This is the part that I don't want to do, but I want to get done before Benji's home. Okay, this is where we're at. These 2 totes are mine. This one is in very bad condition, so that will be needing to be replaced. But all this freaking stuff, and I am nearly positive that one right there is the one I need. Because all these black and gold ones are my mom's. I think those gray ones are all hers. So I think it's the one at the freaking bottom, like the center bottom. Of course, that's where it is. This is the progress for the day. I'm waiting for Benji to come home, and maybe we'll do some ornaments. But I'm back with tomorrow. I'll show you the shopping I did later, but this feels lovely, even though there's still like mess here. Isn't he cute over there? All right, so it is Thursday night, just after 6 o'clock. Benji won't be home for a couple more hours. We're gonna decorate the tree tonight, and we'll have some sort of Christmas movie up while we're doing that. Don't know what that's gonna be yet, so in a little bit I'll probably figure out what we should watch and where we're gonna stream it from and all that. But I thought I'd show you what I got the kids when I went to Barnes & Noble. So yeah, I'll start with my oldest niece is almost 16. January 4th, she'll be 16. If you've been around here for a long time, little Holly. Like we used to do cozy reading night with Holly and Sam, and like they were just, like little guys, 6 and 9 or so, and she's gonna be 16. So she really got into Harry Potter. When she first started reading, it was like she went from like reading like little, Cat in the Hat to Harry Potter, and it was the only thing she would read. And then finally we got her to read something other than Harry Potter, and it was Hunger Games. And now she just goes back and forth between Hunger Games and Harry Potter. We've tried to get her to read other things. I've bought her lots of things. I'm the book, TT always gives books. And well, lo and behold, we have a new Hunger Games book out, and I got her the special edition. So naked, hardback, sprayed edges. This is Haymitch's story, and on the, not the spine, the sprayed edge here, it says, "Our tears will not be used for their entertainment." I want to read this too. And then also, they had these at Barnes & Noble too. It's a hooded fuzzy reading blanket, so I think she will like that. She is a fan of all things cozy. It shows you how that works, and she loves a knit, like sweatery type rather than like a fuzzy blanket, so I think she'll like that. It has a nice weight to it too. And then my nephew, he just turned 13. They just got not a book. They just got a dog, little Maisie. She looks like a little Arctic fox. She's a Pomeranian Lhasa Apso, I think. And she's like 3 pounds. She's just this like little fluff ball right now. And she's in the last vlog with Thanksgiving. But so they have this. This is the Barnes & Noble Book of the Year, like children's book of the year, I suppose. I Am Rebel by Ross Montgomery. I think it's wartime. Yeah, Rebel is a good dog. Of course, Rebel's a good dog. All dogs are good dogs. And he loves his simple, perfect life on the farm with his boy, Tom. But war is brewing, and now Tom is determined to join the rebellion to defeat the greedy king and his vicious soldiers. I'm wondering like where this is. When at first I thought it was like, oh, Revolutionary War or Civil War. But it's Rebel's war, Rebel's job to protect Tom, even from things much bigger than a small farm dog. So Rebel sets out on a journey that takes him far from home, meeting many more animals and people than he knew there were in the world, all to save the human he loves most. I want to read this. I might do that sneaky thing where I read the book before I wrap it. And then Sammy's into sports. He basically plays all the sports his school offers. And so I got a Kwame Alexander basketball book, The Crossover, Newbery Award, and Coretta Scott King honor right there. So hopefully he'll be into this. And then he's been doing gymnastics for a few years. He's into sports. And he just now, when he turned 13, now he's able to work out on the gym floor instead of having to go to kids club when my sister goes to the gym. And the gym is right next to his gymnastics place. So they go back to back. And so I got him a book, The Resistance Training Revolution by Sal Stefano. If you're into fitness at all, highly recommend or want to get into fitness. Actually a really good time of year to think about this. Maybe you're thinking about health goals. I would highly recommend this book because I trust Sal and his knowledge, the information that he's going to have to teach you, like real information from someone who's science-based. This is not bro science. He has like 20, he's probably around 45. He started training when he was, I think, 13, and then he became a trainer at like 18. So a lot of experience. And he knows what he's talking about. I trust this guy. I learned a lot from him, and he and his partners have a podcast, Mind Pump. It is like the #1 fitness podcast out there, and it's really good information. So I recommend that. So that's for Sammy. And then Charlie is the 7-year-old. She just turned 7. All 3 of them are Waldorf kids. So Holly is in high school now, regular public school. And in Waldorf, they don't start teaching you to read right in kindergarten. They follow more of like actually, what's actually developmentally appropriate, and sitting in seats and writing and having a pencil grip to hold the pencil or crayon is not developmentally appropriate for a 5-year-old. So they do much more learning through experience, through art, through, it's more about the learning process, right? And so they naturally, reading comes a little bit later. So she's in 1st grade now. She's just turned 7. And so now she's really learning to read, and she's really excited about it. So she specifically asked for books. She wants lots of books with big words and not very many words on the pages. So I got her a handful here. So we have like the early reader book. So this is Nat the Cat. So right, nice big words there. Mia in the Big Tutu. Nice big words. We got a Frozen. We got the Shy Little Kitten. A little bit more advanced here. We have Pinkalicious, the beginning reading. These ones are a little bit more advanced than the other ones, more words per page. Her kindergarten class was called Cherry Blossom. So I got the Cherry Blossom one. I do have some other Pinkalicious in the other room that are, I think, maybe step 2. And then Amelia Bedelia. I love Amelia Bedelia, so I had to get that. And then also, I had those already, and then I saw this bag from Out of Print, the Elephant and Piggy. And I thought, oh my gosh, how cute would that be? She would love to get to carry around her books in her little book bag. But if I get her the Elephant and Piggy bag, she needs to know what it's from, so she needs an Elephant and Piggy book. So this is There's a Bed on Your Head, or a Bird on Your Head rather, by Mo Willems, and these are just great fun. And so yeah, so that is my haul, my Barnes & Noble haul for the kids. And I did not actually get anything for myself. I might have just made a Better World Books order, but I did not buy anything for myself when I was at Barnes & Noble. So, and, you know, I have like the membership or whatever. I got, so this one I already had because I forgot to give that to him for his birthday a couple months ago. But so 3, you know, novels, like 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of the little books, the hardback and the bag, all for $138. I felt like that was really good. I also got him a basketball. I just ordered Sammy a basketball. I'll probably get like one more thing for Holly, just to make it feel a little bit more even. But yeah, I feel pretty good about that. So I'm gonna go take a shower, and then I'm gonna figure out what we're gonna watch, and I'm gonna read because I'm reading Demon Copperhead now that I'm finished with Tomorrow. I finished that last night. Oh, I just finished literally right before I turned you on. I just finished Dungeon Crawler Carl book 2, which I think is called the Doomsday Scenario, and it's just a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The one thing I would say about when you're listening to the audiobooks is they are so plot heavy that and my husband and I were just discussing this. He had the same problem where sometimes your mind just wanders, right? If you're doing something that you're able to listen to an audiobook while you're doing it, washing the dishes, driving, whatever, then your mind can kind of wander. And because it's so plot heavy, sometimes I'm like, wait, what is happening? Like I come back to it and I have to go back and re-listen to things. But still, it's a lot of fun. Great on audiobook. So yeah, I'll probably, not right away, but I'm sure I'll continue on with the series. So I'm gonna go get in the shower. Should I leave that up and see what my husband has to say about the tripod facing the bed? Hey, bud. Yay!
I have some balls in the car I'm gonna go grab.
Okay.
Nice. That's it.
So it's Sunday at about 11:30 a.m. We're up at our friend's house. He's like, it's like an hour and a half from us up in the foothills, kind of somewhere between like Tahoe and Yosemite ish. It's not really an area that I've ever gone to other than to come up to his place. But it's a beautiful day. So the guys, we basically just came up here to hang out with him, but the boys, of course, are now working on projects. So Benji had like a small little welding thing he wanted to do and needed Alex's tools. So the guys are, I'll point myself backwards, back in the workshop there, working. So it's really cool property up here. Got the old house and then this huge workshop. So they're working on something on his four-wheeler, which he wrecked, including wrecking himself recently. So I've been freezing. I've been sitting in an old beat up office chair, reading in the workshop while the guys were working, but I'm freezing. I was going to come into the house, but I walked outside and I realized how nice it felt in the sun. So I just set myself up a little, just plastic chairs there. That's Demon Copperhead sitting there in the chair. So I think roughly, I'm somewhere between a quarter and a third maybe, through Demon Copperhead. And if I turn around, you have a nice review. There we go. It's so good, and it is so hard. Because at this point, he's an 11-year-old boy. He's just kind of getting bounced around from foster house to foster house, and just realizing like he's never gonna have what other kids have. He's never gonna have like a normal life. And I was literally just wiping away tears, hoping the guys weren't gonna notice I was crying reading my book. Not that it really matters, but I'm just vlogging. That's all. I'm fine. Just looking at me like I'm crazy. Who are you talking to? Anyway, but yeah, it's amazing. This book is amazing, and I can see I had posted something on like Facebook and Instagram the other day about me reading the book, and I got like several people commented, including 2 friends that said they'd started it and DNF'd it because it was just too hard. And I can definitely see it, especially if you had, you know, some sort of personal experience with poverty, with addiction. And right now, what's going on in the story, addiction is definitely part of the story, but right now it's the foster care system and poverty that is the biggest kind of issue, all stemming back from the original source of addiction being the problem. But yeah, fantastic book, and it's just so heartbreaking to know that like kids like Demon are out there right now. Remember when I said it's not really about drugs right now? I spoke a page too soon. It's Monday morning now, a little after 10 a.m. Just got back to my house. We've been at my mother-in-law's house all weekend, so did some things, got myself a nice hot pot of coffee going, got the jazz ambiance room going, and Demon Copperhead on my lap. But what did we do this weekend? I don't think I talked to you much. A little bit yesterday. Saturday was basically video games, and I worked a 4-hour shift, and then we rewatched actually the new Netflix Christmas movie, Oh What Fun, with Michelle Pfeiffer in it. We watched it the night that we did the Christmas tree, but we were distracted, and we were talking, and we were doing the Christmas tree, and so there was a lot of it that we missed. It was really good, so we watched it with my mother-in-law on Saturday night. And then yesterday was just a long day away from the house with friends. So we went about an 1.5-hour drive up to our friend Alex's house. His dogs and our dog Rocco able to just run around and play. The guys worked on car stuff. Benji worked on something on his car, and then mainly they were working on Alex's 4-wheeler that he wrecked recently. And I was reading. So for a good part of the time, I was sitting in the shop actually, reading in an old office chair with my feet propped up on the ladder that goes up to the loft. And then I switched over. You saw me. I switched over to sitting in the sun. I read a lot. I didn't realize actually how much I read, but I think I read around maybe like 80 pages or so while I was over at his house. And then yeah, I read again last night. We came home. Oh, and then we went to another friend's house who has 7 little yappy dogs. They're all like terrier chihuahua versions. Like the biggest one I think is like 8 pounds. So just a bunch of little guys, and they love me. And at one point we had decided that we were gonna like go to the store, and we were gonna make food. And our friend Lisa is Italian, and she was gonna make, you know, homemade sauce and everything. And so I stayed home with the dogs, and they went to the grocery store, and so I just got to sit there and read. And I wish I had my camera. I wish somebody could have filmed it, because I had, you know, we have Rocco, who's our German Shepherd, and he's not allowed like on their couch, and I'm on the couch, and he kept coming around the back to like put his legs and his head over here to get to me. But meanwhile, I had usually 5 of the 7 little dogs on me in some way, and it was so great. Loved it. And then we had a beautiful, I don't think I took a picture of it, sadly. Beautiful pasta dinner with broccoli, and then we came home, and I read some more before we went to sleep. So yeah, it was a really good reading day. I'm getting close to halfway through, so I think we're on like page 214 is where I am, and I think it's right a little over 500 pages. So it's so hard. it's hard to read this and not cry. It's hard to read this and not think about like, what can I do? Like, how blessed am I that I grew up with two parents and, you know, middle income. You know, I never, you know, I wanted lots of things, but I never wanted for. And especially, I never lacked a feeling of being loved and taken care of and wanted myself. So I cannot imagine, like, I mean, that this is happening, that there are, how many kids right now in this country alone are in the foster care system and are in dangerous, unsafe places and are not loved and are just seen as a problem to be pushed down the line, you know, a task on someone's, you know, job list for the day. It's really, really heartbreaking. At this point in the story, Demon is on his own. He's 11 years old and he's on his own. And, well, okay, wait, where am I in the where am I in the book? At a time he was on, I don't want to tell too much. Okay. I was going to give more details about the plot, but I guess I need to probably not give too much about the plot. All of a sudden, I'm struggling with, like, how much to tell you. If you don't want to know anything, then I guess skip ahead. But at a certain point, Demon ends up on his own, and he kind of figures, like, the system, DSS isn't doing me any good, and he's just going to take off for the one relative that he knows he has, which was his grandmother, his dad's mom, who showed up on the day, like the day he was born, or a couple days after he was born, to like take him away. And because his mom tells the story of like this crazy grandma that came, and so he knows her name and where she's from, and so he ends up finding her, and he gets a bit taken care of, and he gets a little bit of TLC, but ultimately, grandma doesn't do boys. And she's got to find a new place for him. And she has raised lots and lots of girls. She's fostered lots and lots of girls. So now he is headed he's going to go stay with one of her girls that she had raised. So we yet to see now what that circumstance is going to look like. Hopefully it's going to be a lot better than his previous foster placements. So I think the book is doing something that I really appreciate. I guess I won't really know until I'm through it onto the other side and what's coming next. But I often find that when things, whether it's a movie, a TV series, a book, whatever story is happening, if it is about like hard times, really hard things, terrible things are happening to the characters, they can just feel relentless. And, you know, going through the next 300 or so pages of just like worse after worse after worse happening would feel relentless and probably just like too much. So I think what is happening is that we're getting a little bit of a reprieve, that Demon is getting a little bit of a reprieve. So it's not, so I said before that he was going to the daughter of one of the girls that his grandma raised close. That woman had actually died, and it's her husband that's going to take care of him now. He's a football coach at the local high school, like, and he's like in the area where he grew up. And so he knows like of this, you know, this is like the football team that, you know, he's been rooting for his whole life and everything. And you know, not only is he getting like, you know, a clean place to stay and, you know, a shower and food in his belly, but it's like, which room do you want? Which of the many extra rooms that we have do you want? Here's our maid, Sarah, and oh yeah, we're gonna go shopping and just swipe the credit card and like you can have whatever you want. Like, what kind of shoes do you want? And so it's beyond his wildest dreams, and he's even worried about like getting soft. But this being a story, there being 300 pages or so left of this book, something is gonna happen, and he knows. And he even just said, what the last line here of the this last chapter I was on, he goes, everything in that house got taken care of, me included. If I stayed here, would I turn into one of these Jonesville middle school babies? Not something to worry about, I knew. Nobody ever kept me that long. So I think unfortunately for Demon, I think we're just getting this little bit of a palate cleanser, reprieve from the next like bad thing that's going to befall him. But as a reader of the story, as a consumer of the story, I really do appreciate it. And a movie, a movie I think is a good example of one that needed more of this is Meet the Fockers with Ben Stiller. Hilarious movie. A lot of, great lines, like meet the whole, all the Fokker movies, right? Fantastic. Except it's just too much. And I wish there was just like another, one scene or a couple little side bits between the Ben Stiller character and his wife. That was just a little bit of a like he can relax a little bit of a nice moment. And so I think that's what Barbara Kingsolver is doing here. So, I can't imagine. That's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Like, that's not going to, something's going to happen. And I'm sure it's going to be terrible, but I appreciate this, what she's doing here. So after a fantastic weekend, and about a third of the way through Demon Copperhead at this point, I'm going to cut off this vlog. There'll be more to go. The next vlog will be the continuation of Demon Copperhead. As I'm actually recording this, I'm a little over halfway through Demon Copperhead now and continuing to love it. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Remember, every day is a great day for a great day, no matter what.